Many of my friends always ask me what my favorite Simpsons episode is, although I actually don't know how to respond to that, because I don't like having preferences. My family never had any real TV back at home, so we mostly relied on video cassettes as a source for our television. I ended up owning a goldmine of the VHS seasons in my secret stash, and I would watch them every time I got home. I loved it. There was one particular tape that was very odd compared to the other ones I had of The Simpsons, though. It disguised itself as a special, so I got a little carried away and ended up buying it at a yard sale. Although it wasn't any actual episode. At least, that's the safest thing I can really describe it as. May 2nd, 2008. It was hot, and the air was carrying scents of warm cloth alongside a faint chemical tang. Digging into a box brimming with cassettes, my fingers snagged on resistance. It was a videotape tucked inside a brittle plastic case, clouded by years. A warning for Fox members only, alongside wobbly Arabic text, was written on the bottom. Also, a small sketch depicted a television set containing one awful eye, seemingly drawn to startle people. $2 bought it. It went into my bag, a challenge accepted, almost. Then home with me, owing to a dusty VCR hidden away somewhere. The tape spun to life just past 1 in the morning, either for a tale worth telling or simply because silence amplifies when shadows grow long. Static crackled to life on the tape, that familiar gray snowstorm signaling empty airwaves, accompanied by a low thrum. Initially, I figured someone was messing around with old clips. However, the Fox emblem appeared, flickering, then settling as a rough imprint. Up top, script in Arabic declared the space for Fox people only. Beneath it, an English sign, Fox members only, kept dissolving, letters vanishing as if scratched away. A high whine threaded through all sound, almost hidden. Intro played off normally. At least, that's what it looked like. There was this weird Russian watermark sitting on the top left corner of the screen, and there was a flashing image of an inverted face that I don't recognize. It kept appearing every 30 seconds in the intro, along with a deep-pitched voice that sounded like it said something in Arabic, played once Homer's car pulled onto the driveway, before cutting to a black screen. That's when the episode started. Initially, it feels cobbled together, fragments of other episodes clumsily mashed in together, humor falling flat, cuts jarringly obvious. Though still recognizably Homer, something about his delivery seems out of character. A smile then stretched on Bart's face, stuck there a beat too late. A film looping after the credits rolled. It felt rehearsed, yet somehow off-script, twisting familiar gestures into something unsettling. Nearly 10 minutes passed before the kitchen scene flipped its hues, holding the viewer on Marge's trembling hands. Instead of familiar music, a strange dampened sound arose as Homer appeared in the entrance. Each replay offered a different subtitle for what he said. First, "Shut the hell up, Marge." Then, "Quiet, my girl." Afterward, "You should not have laughed so loud." The subtitles flickered between Arabic script atop English, occasionally clashing. I watched the moment again, then once more, yet another time. Words blurred, a strange intimacy, as if history itself had been retranslated to unsettle me. The tape acts like something possessed, twisting how you remember things. You see Bart, both boy and nearly grown, in his bedroom simultaneously. Sound fractures. A shrill echo joins a booming undertone while he murmurs, his voice echoing. It occurs if laughter fades. Changes appear subtly. Bits lifted from various shows get mashed up until they flow like poetry. However, a misplaced image gets shoved right in the middle, tricking your mind to believe it belonged there all along. Still images interrupt the flow. Family pictures, actual prints. The Simpsons appear, their eyes darkened by some black overlay. Someone wrote something in Arabic, which roughly translates to, "Not his fault only." Then a kid sketch stuck to a refrigerator door labeled, "But," though the handwriting seems strangely wrong. The recording works by making you question your own eyes. A regular scene follows whatever unsettling thing you witnessed. This brief comfort doesn't erase the frightening picture. Instead, it burrows further into your mind. Around 20 minutes in, a message surfaced, scrawled in Arabic. "Don't view this past midnight," while another input confirmation appeared on the TV. A chuckle escaped me. Nevertheless, I hit play. A strange shift happens. The mood goes from unsettling to blaming. I see Marge sitting on the sofa, relieving an unexplained bruise. It's something I have never witnessed before within the actual show, but the animation was disturbingly so convincing. Then Homer speaks. Meanwhile, the view lingers on his clenched fist. The camera caught his gaze just as he began. I honestly didn't mean to. Then noise swallowed the sound, leaving nothing behind. Only that broken phrase echoed within the VCR's whir, circling endlessly as if trapped. It needed the quiet patience of tape, something the broadcast lacked. A 10-minute stretch where Homer just is, filmed without flinching. Sweat on his skin, a restless thump circling glass, and some darkness shifting across his face. The nearness stings. He isn't some joke, just a little person, worn out. Marge's name lingered on screen, yet somehow felt like looking into my very own kitchen. The way light fell, the familiar slant of things. The interview felt cheap, shadow swallowing Homer whole. Someone inquired about trouble from the previous week. He looked down, mumbled something akin to forgetting if mourning confusion stemmed from rage or a longing for recognition. It sounded practiced yet terribly awkward. A poorly delivered secret. A purple mark bloomed on his palm. A silent echo the body remembered while his thoughts tried to forget. Things escalate. Snippets from Krusty's show dissolve into images of the Simpsons house ablaze. Instead of laughter, a rhythmic ticking echoes like a pulse, with each beat costing a single image. The VCR halts, each still image bites like tiny jagged stones. Afterward, these shifts things from creepy to something else entirely. Bart appears near the dark staircase. His gaze locks onto the lens while he speaks, his tone a broken echo of youth. I attempted intervention. A swift turn, then only snow. A dark streak marks time, echoing the steady beat of an actual clock. There are no digital beeps here. With each tick comes a faint rasping sound, as if something is being dragged across a kitchen floor. Then suddenly the image shifts. The doorway splinters, moreover. The air hangs heavy with the scent of damp soot. The chipped mug rested upon the cool countertop. Scrawled across paper, a kid's shaky handwriting in bright blue crayon, were the words, "I forgive you, Hours drifted by. Twilight pulled into a roadside motel room where Homer slumped onto the bed. Speaking toward an unseen presence, he murmured, "You were consistently boisterous," before his gaze fixed on the lens, resembling someone studying a final, crucial chart. A picture came from his pocket, a blank face, dark where eyes should be. It caught fire under his lighter. He just stared as it turned to dust. A sigh escaped him. "Time to head back," he murmured. The final phrase feels etched onto the tape itself, a lasting vow. Subsequently, the hues fade, resembling well-worn photographs. Credits appear, scrolling in unsteady Arabic script. First, end. Afterward, members only. Then, briefly, the screen reflects back at you, myself, seated in my home, curiously observing the player. The VCR stopped, surely some kind of hoax. Though hitting pause again brought back that voice, quiet and clear, using the pet name just my sibling knows. It vanished when I ran it back. Hit play. 4 viewings of that final 60 seconds. Then, a faint sound returned on the last one. The tape seemed to stretch from the TV. By dawn, a little half-moon-shaped bruise bloomed on my arm, like someone pressed their thumb hard there. It would vanish, only to show up somewhere else later. A bad night's sleep prompted me to leave my place. Consequently, I found myself back at the flea market, questioning the vendor about a certain box. He simply offered a shrug, muttering the same thing twice over, once in English, again in Arabic. No one desires it. He wasn't connected to those people. No relatives. Nothing. A cigarette dangled from his lips, smoke curling upward while he sized me up, much like an uncle debating a fib. Attempting to share the recording online proved frustrating. It stalled mid-transfer. Subsequently, the discussion disappeared. An expert on forgotten things got back to me. Just one quick question. Source. Then a phone number instead of her usual signature. A photo showed those words, "I forgive you," etched like a brand. Then my sister sent a text. The very same thing, yet stripped bare of any marks indicating feeling. We haven't exchanged a word otherwise for what feels like forever. If you happen upon this tape, notice the Arabic script isn't uniform. Seems a couple different people penned the sleeve. One with a trembling, circular hand while another's was sharp, rushed. Each inscribed members only. Yet neither got the spelling quite right. A fractured eye stared back from the page's edge, seeming to fix on me. Someone sketched it there. Once I chilled a cassette, hoping eyes might erase what clung to its magnetic surface. By dawn, the discoloration on my skin had shifted location, so I constructed reasons attempting to silence the embarrassment. Simple statements feel empty. Consequently, they offer little comfort at bedtime. It's a loop, honestly. Those final moments just pull me back, specifically that motel scene. I keep hitting replay, freezing the frame on Homer's hand. My gaze sticks to the still image, a relentless ache building behind my eyelids. It feels foolish, yet I can't look away. Some unseen hand likely crafted this captivating illusion. It has to happen. I require it. Should you come across a recording such as this, act wisely. Erase it, discard it anonymously, or give it to those who investigate lost media. Specifically, don't view it by yourself when the clock strikes 1:12 after midnight. Should a recording call you by a childhood name when you were alone, don't react as if recalling familiar ground. Instead, behave as though you haven't a clue. Remain silent. The recording isn't seeking admission, it requires observers to stay alert. Honestly, if someone, Homer let's say, declares it's time to head back, resist echoing them. Recordings aren't reliable. They tend to reshape tales, making them feel burdened instead of true. Rather than dull old sorrows with fresh pain, resist that impulse. The reel stopped turning. That's all there was to tell. Or so it seemed, mirroring an old saying from another world. End. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because there are more chilling tales to be told. Also check out my other social media profiles. The links for those are down in the description. Thanks for listening.